Hello everybody, welcome back to Pixie Woo. Hopefully you watched my last video about my under eye fillers. If you're wondering why I have a little bruise, go back and watch that one and it will explain it all. Okay, I'm going to put some makeup on my face now, and it's going to be my everyday makeup and then my everyday makeup that's a little bit more. It's not really an evening makeup, it's a bit more. I did 2 pictures recently on my Instagram, Pixie Woo, and a lot of people said, can you show me that makeup? I really like that makeup. So that's what I'm going to do for you. I hope you enjoy. First off, I need to put some moisturiser on. I have a little bit of, this is It Cosmetics Moisturiser, because it's the one that's to hand, and it will do. Pop that on, just so that my makeup has a little bit of something to get some slip from. I'm going to put some SPF on. This is Elizabeth Arden City Smart in Prevage. It has a little bit of colour to it. I don't know why. But I want to make sure I put that under my eyes, because I never used to put it under my eyes. And actually, it's part of the reason that I have such dark under eyes. Who knew? I do now. Oh, it feels nice on the skin. That's a nice combination, that moisturiser and that. I'm then going to go in with a bit of primer. There are tons of primers that are available. Kiko Face Base Primer, which is a nice, quite radiant one. You have Rimmel London have a matte one and a brightening one. Then you have something like Bourjois, which is slightly for a drier skin, healthy mix. I always use the Victoria Beckham for Estee Lauder one just because I really like it, but it is very expensive. So swap it out for any other if you need a primer. So I'm going to put my primer on. I just like the radiant glow it gives the skin underneath. I have a few little blemishes at the moment. This one doesn't want to go, but we will conceal it. It will be fine. Primer, done. And I'm using a Real Techniques Artist Powder Brush. I like this for base. I'm going to use it for my next bit of base as well. Oh, dropping stuff. I'm then going to take a little bit of foundation. Now, I like this It Cosmetics CC foundation. I really do, and I've been using it a lot recently. My colour is light. However, I think that it's a little bit grey, so I tend to mix it with a tiny bit of Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. I think the combination of the two together is really nice on my skin. So I just add a little pump of the It Cosmetics and then a little bit of Light Wonder on top of each other. So it makes kind of like a pea size, and then they mix on the hand. Just apply that to the skin. I tend to start from the middle of the face, but it's totally personal preference. Where you feel you want the most coverage would be where you would start applying your makeup first. And I use a brush because it gives a much better payoff from your makeup. I use my hands to put my moisturiser on. I don't always, sometimes I use the brush. But I think when it comes to foundation, a brush is definitely the best way. So if you're not using one and you're like, why doesn't my foundation stay? It could be because you're not using the brush. See, look, I've got loads left and I've covered my whole face. I'll take some of that down onto the neck as well. Right, I'm going to allow that to work into the skin before I put any concealer on, and I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. Now, I love soap brows. I think they look beautiful, and when I wear them, people stop me and say, oh my God, your brows are amazing, what is on them? At the weekend, I had my soap brows on and I went to a Cosmopolitan event, and Emma Willis, lots of celebrities stopped me and said, your brows are cool, what have you got on them? I was like, oh, they're soap brows. And I'm one of those I suppose I'm quite an upfront person, so I was like, touch them, feel what they feel like. You can see them like, oh, they're really hard. But yes, so I like soap brows. And firstly, I need to spritz a little bit of water. This is just Fix Plus because I happen to have it there, onto a Q-tip. And I'm just going to clean any of the foundation that may have gone into my eyebrows. Because I've had microblading brows done, if I it's not on hair, it's on skin. So if I don't clean the brows over first, then they already look a little bit ashy and not the right colour. So by doing this, it's just releasing the brows from the makeup a little bit. You can probably see that they look a little bit stronger straight away. So I do that on both sides, just to make sure that the hairs aren't covered with foundation, and neither is the kind of tattooing marks that I have. So you could do the brows first, but I just don't think it sits as well, because then you put the foundation on and it still goes on the brows. So I tend to do, after lots of trials and tests, this is the best way I've found to do it. Okay, I'm then going to take a bit of my Fix Plus and I'm going to spritz it onto my Pears soap. Now you can use water, I just happen to have Fix Plus there. Water is probably even better. Get myself a spoolie. This is from the Real Techniques brow set. And I'll probably use all of those brushes in this one video because I really like that set. And I just do little circular motions. Now you don't want it to be too lavorous or too wet, because it will just give you too much on the brush. Like, that's probably a little bit too much, so I'm going to stop there. And all you do, let me move this out of the way because I need the mirror a bit closer, is you take your spoolie with the soap on and just brush upwards. Brush the brows upwards. Now you have to use a clear soap, so Pears soap is brilliant. I think for two it's £1.9, so like 50p a tub. They do this in other countries as well as the UK. I know in America they have it as well, because I've bought it from there too. So you're just gonna brush it up and just leave it for a minute. Same on the other side. So if you look on my Instagram, and people are always commenting when I have brows like this, and they're like, your brows look amazing. And this is all I do. Then I just take my finger and just rub it upwards so that you see all the hairs and they kind of lay flat. If you've got fuller brows than me, even better. I'm then going to take the lash separating comb from the brow set and just use that as well, just to keep them so they don't all kind of combine together. This side has more brows anyway, so it just does it better. Now, Sam and I have been doing soap brows for ages, so you can look back a couple of years and see we were doing it then as well. But it's something that I seem to go back to in spring, summer. Not so much in the winter, but in spring, summer I go back to these brows because I just love them. It is something that you do quite often need to keep the brows quite trimmed for. Right, the next step for me is I draw little individual brow hairs on. Now, I often use the Kat Von D, hence I've got two of them, Tattoo Liner. But Ardell have just brought out a new one, and this is Stroke of Brow. They do it in 3 colours, a black, a grey and a brown, and I want to give it a go. It might be a bit light. If not, they've brought out a liner as well. You know, like a pen liner, so I might give that a go because I'm always on the hunt for new things. So I'm going to give this a go. This is Stroke of Brow feathering pen. I struggled to say that, in dark brown. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Sometimes the soap stops these from working. It almost coats them a bit. Yeah, that one doesn't do it enough for me. So let's have a look at their pen. If not, I'm back to the Kat Von D. Let's have a look at this pen. I like that they've brought out a white liner. It's really nice. I'll show it to you actually. I can't just say it and then not show you. Look. Isn't that nice? It's a white gel liner. Not gel. Liquid, I suppose. Okay, let's try the other one. I think it only has black ones. That's no good to me. So I'm going back to the Kat Von D one. So you can see how that just draws on the odd individual brow and makes it a little bit more of a stronger colour than this side. Repeat on both sides. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera because I'm with this you have to really focus in the mirror. So I'm trying to stay upright. I need a new one of these, it's running out a bit. I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I can always come back to the brows when I need to. I'm going to take this Tom Ford Cream and Powder eyeshadow. Now this one is in the colour Golden Peach, and I'm just going to use a finger just to run that over the eyelid. I actually think sometimes these would work better with your fingers. Just like that, orangey tones because it makes my eyes look greener. This is from this picture here where lots of people asked. So you can see the makeup there with the brows. I used that eyeshadow, and then over the top I took a little bit of this one, which is Always Sunny by MAC, with a base shadow brush, and I just popped that in the socket of the eye, just to lift that a touch. Then followed by a tiny bit of Charlotte Tilbury brown eye pencil, and that just goes in the top waterline. Just so the lashes look a little bit fuller, and by taking it just in that top waterline it does that. And if you want, you can kind of manipulate the outside of the eye to make it look a little bit wider should you wish. I like to do this, you probably see me do it in a lot of videos. Just lengthen that eye a tiny bit. I'm just going to take a shading brush just to soften that. Right, in with a touch of mascara, and then I'm going to do my under eyes. I want to try the new Ardell Mascara. Let's see if this is... I think those brow, stroke a brow would be good, but just probably not with the soap underneath, because the soap is really, really hard to work with. So I'm going to try this mascara, which is Ardell Top and Bottom Mascara. Let's go for the top, because I always use my YSL Volume Effect Mascara, because I absolutely love it. I use it in every video, so you know what that looks like, so I'll try a different one. Oh, it's nice. It doesn't make my lashes full enough for me. I have to go in with a coat of my YSL, I'm sorry. Right, let me go back to the skin and make that look better, because at the moment it doesn't look that great. I have been using this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Waterproof Concealer. I only just bought this, and look how flat it is. Now, whether it's the container that is bad and it makes it look like you've got more, because it only says 8 millilitres, but it just looks like there's nothing in it, which is really annoying. But let's pop some of that on. I'm going to take that under my eyes to have a little bruise, and this is the Expert Concealer Brush. I can still feel my eyes are a tiny bit tender, because I only did just have the fillers done at the beginning of the week. So I only put that where the darkness is. Just little pushing motions, so it just sits where my trough used to be that isn't there anymore. How much better that is. I can still see my bruise a little bit. So I'll put a tiny bit more where the bruise is. Now I've still got a little bit of the concealer on my hand because it goes a really long way, so I'm just going to run that around my nose. So it's definitely getting there, actually. Oh, do you know what else we brought out from Real Techniques? A new quick brush cleaner. Absolutely love this little spritz one. So you literally spritz it on your brush or on the cloth, whichever you prefer. Give it a little rub down. This is the brush that I was using for concealer. Little rub over. Hey presto, a completely clean brush instantly. And you can instantly use it again because it's not wet. I love that. I've been waiting for this to come out for so long. Let's try it on this brush as well, because this one's got powder and concealer on it. My favourite setting brush. I actually not sure where this is available, but I know it's available on realtechniques.com. I'm not sure which stores took it in. But if a store doesn't take it in, then Real Techniques definitely have it. Look. Ah! Love. Right, now let's put some colour on my skin. I'm going to use a little bit of the Hourglass thingy, majiggy, that I always use. This is my everyday makeup. I'm going to use an Expert foundation brush. Just work that onto my cheeks. No, I don't use it as a contour, I use it over the cheeks, but I have quite contoured cheekbones anyway. You know, they're naturally sunken in. So if I was to take it too far there, I'd look a little bit too gaunt. As I've got older, my face has lost a bit of its roundness. Moving on, a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I'm going to use my Rtist blush brush. Is this the blush brush? Yes, oh no, Finish brush. I like to layer bronzers. That's just my personal preference. You don't have to do as much as me. I just like that. Gonna run that just across the nose as well. In that Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, there's a really nice highlighter, which I like to use just through the brow. It's not too light, it just adds a touch of shimmer. Tiny bit inside the eye as well, maybe a little bit here. One with the highlighter, a little bit down here. Then for the lips, I've got this Huda Beauty lip, Au Natural Nudes lips, and I am going to go for Sugar Mama. Remembering to start from the inside of the lip and pull up when you do the edges, because it opens the lip up a whole lot more. I'm terrible at putting anything on from the wand. This one's actually isn't too difficult to put on from the wand. And lastly, a tiny bit of Bobbi Brown Power Pink. Just on the apples of the cheeks. Now, this is my first look that I've been wearing. Now, I would actually powder under the eyes, but the next one stops me from doing that because it looks a bit shiny, the under eyes. But I'm going to vamp it up to the next step. It's so quick and easy. So this was a makeup that I was wearing in one of my Instagrams where people said, oh, what's the makeup? It's really nice. I then went a step further. Oh, actually, I did use the Tom Ford other bit of it, this shimmery bit, and I just pushed it over the eyelid there. Sorry, that was one of the key steps. So that was one of my day looks. But then I went to the Cosmo Self-Made Summit and I popped this on over the top. This is hot. I can't see, the lights are too bright. So this was one step of the makeup that I've been wearing, my daily makeup. But then I went to and I take this with me everywhere. Then I went to the Cosmo Self-Made Summit and I found this eyeshadow, which is Hot Paprika. And I just added some of that to the mix. So I just ran that on top. Such an amazing colour, isn't it? And I also went under the eye with this. Oh, losing my voice. Also went under the eye with this. I went in with a little bit of light just in the waterline, just to lift that. You could go dark if you prefer. This one is MAC, what does it say? NC15 NW20, is that right? And a tiny bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. Now, this Ardell one comes with a bottom lash mascara as well, so let's try that. Yeah, that's nice. I actually think it looks lovely without the bottom lash mascara on, but I had done the bottom lash when I put the picture up. So I want to do it as you saw it. I'm going to just put a little bit of MAC Strip Down around the lips. A little bit of Rose Salve. This one is can be used on elbows, cuticles, knees, face, lips. So I love this one, and I think it's so much, the shine it gives off is way nicer than Vaseline. And this is what I use on the top of my cheekbones to create that kind of glass skin finish. You probably saw it in one of the videos, but it's so beautiful. So there you have a finished video of the makeup that I've been wearing recently. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and share and comment and all that other stuff, and follow me on Instagram, PixieWoo. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.